the doctorate.
Sure.
But I just barely made it through college, though. That's all. Dr. Hall, as you know, President Trump and some of my Republican colleagues said over and over again that the tax cut bill would pay for itself. On page 128 of your report on the budget and the economy, however, the CBO projects that the Trump tax plan will increase the deficit by nearly $1.9 trillion over the next 11 years. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So, my friends, at the end of how many hours we have sat in this room hearing about the benefits of trickle-down economics, that magically, if you give tax breaks to billionaires, it's going to create all the growth, and tax revenues will increase to overcome the deficit, turns out not to be true. Dr. Hall, President Trump, among others, has claimed that, this is a quote from Trump, quote, "the rich will not be gaining at all with this tax plan," end of quote. But according to the Tax Policy Center, by the end of the decade, 83% of the benefits of the Trump tax plan go to the top 1%, and 60% of the benefits go to the top 0.1%. Is that roughly accurate?
I think that's their estimate. We haven't done a similar calculation, though.
So in other words, what we are talking about is a tax plan that significantly grows the deficit, and almost all of the benefits go to the very, very wealthiest people in this country. One of the issues that concerns me is that what we are seeing happening to working families all across this country. And Dr. I don't know if you've even seen it, but a report came out literally today from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the report tells us that the average worker in America has seen zero wage growth over the past year after adjusting for inflation. In March of 2017, the typical non-manager in America made about $22.60 an hour. In March of 2018, that same worker made the same $22.60 an hour. That sound roughly right to you?
It does sound roughly right, yes.
So what I would say, and Dr. Hall, while we're at it, can you talk a little bit about income and wealth inequality? Is it true, based on your understanding, that the three wealthiest people in this country now own more wealth than the bottom half of the American people?
That I don't know. We did just release a report. I don't have the numbers in my head. We did just release a report in the past few weeks, actually, about income inequality. That's worth looking at.
Okay, but we will do that. My colleague from Wyoming, the chairman, talked about Social Security and Medicare. I introduced legislation that would lift the cap on taxable Social Security income for people making $250,000 a year or more. Now, everybody is concerned about the financial future of Social Security. That is a legitimate concern. If you lift, correct me if I'm wrong here, but according to the Social Security Administration, if you lift the cap on income of $250,000 or more, which is just the very highest income earners in this country, Social Security will be solvent for the next 60 years, and we can increase benefits for lower income Social Security beneficiaries. Does that sound right to you?
I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't looked at it there.
According to the Social Security Administration. So for all people who are concerned about the solvency in Social Security, the answer is not to cut benefits, but at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, to ask the people on top to start paying their fair share of taxes so that we can protect the many, many millions of people today who are struggling to keep their heads above water. In my state, and I'm sure in every state in this room, and we don't talk about this enough, Mr. Chairman, it might be worth a hearing on this. You got a lot of elderly people who are cutting their prescription drugs in half, can't afford the medicine that they need. can't afford to keep warm in the wintertime. We have a real crisis in terms of poverty among elderly people in this country. And the answer is not to be talking about cutting Social Security or Medicare. The answer is to be strengthening those programs through a fairer tax system. Thank you very much, Dr. Hall, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.